Hey there, everybody. This is another video of the installment I like to say, getting games from a pawn shop. And yeah, so I guess the next game I'm working on, one sec here, a little drink break. Hmm, it's not that bad for instant coffee. I bought a thing instant coffee. It wasn't that. I was a little bit worried about it, but you add a little bit of hot chocolate and a couple marshmallows and some Smarties, and it works. So, yeah, the next game I'd like to talk about is Mass Effect. And what can I say about this great game, Outlaw Star? I mean, Mass Effect. What can I say about it? This will be the first Mass Effect game. I mean, Outlaw Star. Oh, I mean, Mass Effect. Yeah, I'm going here a little bit. Here we go. So let's start the story. So first off, the game starts out, you work on building your character. You can create, you know, the character Shepard. I think one's Jane Shepard. One you could play a female character known as Jane Shepard. The other one I think is John Shepard. Actually, I like to put James Shepard just to be kind of funny. You play a character named Shepard. Um, Basically, you're being scouted to becoming the first what is called Spectre. Basically, think of them like being like James Bond characters for this big epic space opera. So you're basically being scouted to being this basically James Bond. I like to jokingly call it the secret agents, the 007 of this group called the Council, which is basically this intergalactic council. And wow, what can I say about the council itself? God, I want to kill these people. But I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. So you end up on a mission on a place called Eden Prime, and you go on this first mission, and you find out that the pirates are there. I mean, the Geth are there. The Geth are there. And then by getting there, you're gonna fight off all these Geth, and you end up running into another character, you basically go with a party of three. You get this rookie guy who ends up just getting out of 2 days out of the academy. So you know what happens to him, and I guess I guess yeah, he bites the big one, and you end up with another character. A character named Ashley, and I think Caden's the other character you start off with. And so you're basically trying to get to this beacon. And once you finally get to the girl, I mean beacon. Once you get to the beacon, you have this weird like I don't know, best way to put it, you get a vision. So basically everything goes shit. Everything goes to hell, everything kind of goes bad. And you're basically everything kind of you fail on an epic level. You get the beacon, but you save Eden Prime, but you technically fail, and the beacon gets destroyed. So basically, you end up finding out that the guy who's supposed to be watching you, basically the guy who's basically grading you to see if you're worth being a Spectre, basically he's like, yeah, no, he ends up getting wiped out by this other guy named McDougal. I mean Saren. He ends up killing him. If you haven't guessed already, I'm kind of throwing some similarities to the anime series Outlaw Star and Mass Effect because there are a lot of them, and this is gonna kind of be like this. So, if you haven't figured it out yet, I figure I'd give you a little bit of a tidbit. So basically, you basically gotta find this evidence. You find other characters you get that help you basically, you know, end up finding evidence on Saren, and you basically become the Spectre, and that's where the game goes just massive. But before that, you get an experimental ship. You get this experimental ship by these two groups called the Alliance and the Pirates. I mean the Turians, called the Outlaw Star. I mean the Normandy, which has a stealth system. So And it's one of the most experimental ships out there. Yes, yes, I'm still going with it. Okay, okay. All kidding aside, I can go on and on for hours about the similarities to Outlaw Star and Mass Effect. But I think I'll talk about Mass Effect itself right now and stop joking around about the interesting similarities with this game with the game and the thing. Honestly, I didn't see as much similarities with Firefly than I did with Outlaw Star. Firefly and Outlaw Star towards Outlaw Star and Mass Effect. Like everyone says, Firefly ripped off Outlaw Star. Well, Mass Effect took a lot from Outlaw Star. Like holy crap! Like right there, I could keep going. I can go into the whole conduit thing and how they're trying to get to this certain place to get this ancient technology and it just I can go, you end up on this alien ruins where you find out information. Geez, that isn't an Outlaw Star. Even the G.S.F kind of look a little bit like the pirates. They oddly look similar. So yeah, I'm not gonna keep going on with this, but I am gonna talk about the this outlaw. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Mass Effect. The first Mass Effect game. Wow, is this game fun? This game is fun and addictive. I love this game. The gameplay itself is, oh man, it's a thing of beauty. I admit it gets a little bit, the squad battles can be a little bit cumbersome. I've had a couple issues here and there, but nothing too bad. I usually let my allies go freaking crazy with their squad effects, just go nuts. I want them to use all their squad effects like in every battle because I pretty much pop off all the squad effects. The leveling system a little bit cumbersome, but not impossible. Uh, I have kind of noticed sometimes you gotta pick and choose your poison, so to speak, on what character you want to do this, what character you want to do that. The space travel. Okay, this is where this game is awesome, and I've heard they took a lot of it out in Mass Effect 2. I haven't played Mass Effect 2 or 3 yet. I've been kind of worried about it since I've heard a lot of bad things about 3, so I kind of never didn't want to touch 2 because of it. So, uh, the space travel, I love it. I love traveling the galaxy, man. I like finding all the ships, like finding all the weird, unique things, surveying, going to other planets, wandering around those other planets. That's fun. Like honestly, I did the first mission to go save the what's her face, the Asarian girl, the Benezian's daughter. And that like just did that mission and then I just wandered the galaxy for the rest of it, just wandering around looking for stuff, associating and finding different things to do. It's really quite enjoyable and addicting. Like I know a lot of people bitch and gripe about the whole, oh, it's hard to climb those mountains. It gets boring, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I found it fun. I found it really fun, and amusingly enough, I'm actually this is the only video game I can honestly say I am amazing in that Land Rover. I am like king of the Land Rover, of the Mass Effect 1 Rover. I have figured out ways to use that thing in inventive and cool ways. I have actually like I've gotten so good at it using the jets and stuff. I've actually gone and went and jumped over missiles and landed on people. Like all at the same time, it's like that, like point blank range. Geth firing their missiles at me just before they fire their missiles. I know the missiles coming. I go crunch and keep on going. And then turn around, get on the ship, and blow them away. I love that Land Rover. That thing is so much fun. I love it. I love playing with it. I love just doing all that crazy stuff. The gunplay in the game is amazing for that too. Like I do love it. Like I said before, the squad battles are a little bit crappy. The voice acting in this, there's a lot of big name talents in this actually. Well, I guess big name talents compared to most video games. Actually, I'm actually noticing this seems to be happening everywhere. We're getting a lot of big names. And it's actually not bad. I actually enjoy a lot of that. Like hearing what's her face from. I think there's a couple Star Trek voice actors in it. So yeah, there's quite a few Star Trek voice actors in it. It's really quite good. There's a lot of good voice actors and voice actresses in it. I enjoy it. So the voice acting's amazing. The storyline is oddly taken from Outlaw Star, if you haven't guessed. But that being said, I don't truly think, as much as I brought jokes about the comparisons to the two, I don't truly think BioWare stole it. It's just that it's a good story, and who could not say that there isn't, someone else would think this up. You know, I just find it funny. They call the Air Forces the Alliance, and what do they call what do they call them? Outlaw Star, the Alliance. I think pretty sure it's not the Federation, it's the Alliance. So I'll have to look that up again. See if watch that again and make sure I might be wrong. They might be calling them the Federation for all I know. I just yeah, there's way too many similarities, but at the same time, it could just all be a coincidence. So we'll leave that alone. The characters. Well, let's get into the characters. Uh, there's the Caden, who is this guy who suffered from L2. What is it called there? He's like an L2 bionics, which I guess bionics in the world are like basically telekinetic people. They use psychic abilities and hit people with these psychic attacks. I guess it's kind of hard to explain. I haven't really figured out how they how they do this. It's kind of a little bit of a kind of hard to understand a little bit because I'm pretty certain it's psionic powers basically. So he suffers from because basically your character, if you decide to play a bionic, you're an L3, which is basically you don't suffer any of the negative side effects. When they were experimenting on human beings, they have what I think they had like the first generation was dying off, and then the second generation of people who were like exposed to it accidentally, wink wink, accidentally exposed, or otherwise they're forced. Kind of like there's a lot of rumors that apparently people were actually being purposely exposed to it. Um, so he's basically this guy. He suffers headaches. He's basically a cross between an engineer and a psionic fighter. So he's kind of kick ass for that. He's actually kind of a cool character. I enjoy. He has a lot of interesting conversations. Then you get your next character, which is Ashley, which is this. I could almost go as far as saying speciest, racist. I guess I could say racist. I don't know how you incorporate if you're against other alien races. I guess it's speciesism. She's kind of like that. She kind of has a first thought process, very almost arrogant in that aspect. But the character is basically a battle commander. She's a straight combat fighter, and she's really really good at it. Like if you really max her out, she gets nasty. Garrus, which is this Turian, which is this actually he has an interesting backstory on some of the stuff that he's a Turian who you meet when you're trying to do the investigations at the first bit of the game. You're trying to get like this investigation going on how you defeat. You basically want to get Saren, and he knows that there's some investigation points. He's basically being blueballed all the way through, being screwed over nonstop. By CSEC, because I think one of the CSEC heads is basically not working for Saren, but he's basically been bought out. So his storyline is basically I want to find this Turian this Turian who's basically betrayed other Turians, betrayed the Spectres and betrayed the Council and has screwed everybody over on some levels and made us look bad. So I want to go after him. So he basically joins your crew. He is a cross between an engineer and a combat guy. He's actually quite good. Rex the Krogan. Rex is a badass all around. Like I know he's a cross between a combat and a psionicist, but he is such a badass in this. Honestly, have a lot talk to the guy. He has some interesting talking stories. A Quarian by the name of Tally. I'm not going to try attempt to try the rest of her name, even though I'm French. I'm not going to try it. Which is Aquarians are basically they're because they live in such a sterile environment. They can't handle like diseases anymore, so they have to always wear these biosuits. She's a straight out engineer. And then you get the Larana, which is the Asarian. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Liara, which is the Asarian, which is a Cyarian, she's a hardcore bionic. She has a lot of bionic powers, which means she's pretty badass on that. But otherwise, combat wise, she's not exactly the best. And there's your main crew. I forgot Joker. I forgot Joker, who's the pilot of of the ship, which I kind of find funny. I actually, I know the guy he plays. I can't remember his name now. Oh God, this sucks. I think it's Seth. No. Is it Seth Green? Yeah, it's Seth Green. I like this guy. I actually like everything he's saying is kind of fun to listen to. And I do love it when you have to do mission briefings every time you finish a mission, like the main three missions that you start off with, and I love the fact you can like disconnect. So now what's another great game development, a great game, great great to this game? Oh, I can't even think right now. God, I'm getting tired. Okay, what's another great thing about this game? Your decisions. Wow, this game has so many things you can do. It is silly. Not only just traveling the universe is something I love to do all the time, but every decision you make is either going to give you either bonuses to which is called Paragon, which means people think of like highly of you, or Renegade. People think you're kind of like that outsider, that hardcore, get the job done badass. Actually, it's kind of funny. Every time I play this game, if I answer honestly, I have so many points in Paragon. It's not even funny. I get less than Renegade, but everything is this. You can literally every conversation could either have a combat situation, could get you more money, could change everything. You could do so much to change every mission. Every little side quest can be changed and shifted one way or another, and that is pretty cool. And it is just a really cool thing. And this game, I gotta say it, Mass Effect is an amazing game. You just can't deny how awesome it is. Like, geez, man, how can you not love the first Mass Effect? It is really well done. The only real downside, again, is it's a touch glitchy. Not lots. Like, not lots. Actually, I'm going to say it right now. You're going to find most video games are glitchy nowadays. I've kind of fallen into the whole, I guess I'm never going to have a game that's solid. There's a glitch here and there. You might fall off something or fall into something. Especially when you're using that rhino, you'll jump into a mountain or go fall into a mountain range, all of a sudden keep going. But other than that, there really isn't that much. It's like I'd have to say overall maybe one, maybe two little glitches here and there I've had. Not too bad. Other than that, the game is really solid. It's a really solid gameplay. Like you can just keep going and going and going. All the characters are fun. All the like it just overall, it's just a fun game. All the characters have their own little quirks. The storyline, again, all the story stuff, the little mythos behind everything, behind this galaxy. I mean, they put so much effort into that. That blows me away. That truly blows me away. There is so much little information, tidbits here and there. Like I sat there just reading the codex could take you forever. So it's a great game. overall, I'm gonna give this one a rating, even though I have Mass Effect 2 and 3, but I think I'm gonna give these ones a rating. I'm gonna honestly give this an 8 rating, maybe even a 9. So an 8.9 would be the best way to put it. So that's my little review on Mass Effect. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't. I thought I'd just talk about it, and it would be like a little tidbit here, but I usually like to do some back stuff and talk about my kind of a little bit of what I'm doing or what's going on, and and friends ask me stuff. But this has been a generally quiet couple weeks. And I hope I didn't spoil anything. I didn't want to ruin too much of the information, all the missions and stuff, because it is a great game and it's worth playing. If you haven't played it, I'd be surprised if you hadn't played it, but if you haven't played it, it's worth a pickup. I even think they have it on the PS3 now, so it's worth the pickup. Pick up and play it. Have a good time, and if you're definitely into sci-fi, you're gonna enjoy it. All right, well, there's my little thing. Have a good one, and I guess I'll talk to you after I beat Mass Effect 2, or maybe I'll move on to a Just Cause 2. It's kind of a debate right now. So have a good one.